basically the minimal amount to affect them. I want to build a smaller home so that it reduces the amount of relief that I need. So that is a 480 square foot building, which is 220 square feet lower than the amount of the minimum habitable floor plan of 700 square feet. So it's about a 30% reduction in footprint for the habitable. There's a creek that basically intersects that lot. There's just a steepness into that creek, and we have building requirements to be 50 feet off of that creek to protect that wet area. And so to get an on-lot sewage system, a well, a property, and a safe driveway that meets all the zoning ordinances, this plan that I propose to you basically meets all those in a minimum amount of relief that I need, in my opinion.
You didn't have the septic designed or anything?
I do have a septic design, yes, sir.
You have a design for the size and everything?
Yes, sir, I do. So the Perkin Pro approval is in here, and I have a plan for, I have to pull it up here, I have the email here. I could tell
No,
you
but the
name.
design, the engineer designed what size, how big the system is? Oh, you have all that?
Yes, sir. And because of the creek can be a backup system with the UV light. There's a filtration system that we'll have to put in and a sloping sand mound to kind of alleviate that eyesore for the neighbors. So, but yes, sir, it is, and it's an inexpensive product. But I have to do what I have to do. So there is a plan in place for it.
What's your future plans for this building down the line?
That's a great question. I'm taking a risk. My mom's at a stage right now where change is a big deal to her. She needs to see the product, and eventually it'll come to a point where she has to be there. But as of now, the time and effort spent in travel to the logistics to get to her now outweigh building this property. So I don't have a plan for it. I would like to recoup some of this investment to potentially sell it. And I understand that a variance, if granted, would go with the land. And I have that in mind. Dan's my neighbor here now, and I don't want to cause any, my goal here is to not cause any conflict with anyone and keep the integrity. We all live in the woods for a reason, and we all want our privacy. We all want to utilize that land. So basically, if I needed to sell it,
But it would be sold for residential house most likely.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. I don't.
Or rented or something like that.
Yeah. It would definitely. I don't know. I have no other design.
Okay.
Other than yes to sell it would be my plan.
And it is 100 feet from the well to the start of the septic system.
From the egress of the septic system and a 15-foot setback. I need a 15-foot setback from the right-of-way. It is 100 feet, and it is to the 100. It is like to the 100 foot. Everything is staked and measured out there.
I drove back there, it looked pretty close.
Yes, it is all measured. That's, I've given this design 15, 20 attempts, and it's been multiple iterations trying to play match the shape and fit all these constraints in, and that was definitely a consideration.
Yeah. You have any questions? Sue, do you have any questions?
Oh. I went out and drove by the property and I was looking at it. And to be honest with you, that's like an easement that goes down to the property, correct? The way you get to the property?
It's a deed right away.
Yeah, the right of way.
Yes, ma'am.
And I guess what I'm asking you is, this property is, you have a very, very small footprint on that property to put a house, okay? And how are you going to how are you going to get a house on there and be able to put a driveway in and have any yard space?
A lot of careful planning. And I'll have 36-inch wide doors, and it'll be a ramp in there. I know the product that you have up there is small.
Yes.
And bring this plan up to you to show you, maybe that would help.
I think I would like to see it.
Yeah, most definitely. Sorry, Yeah, you're right. It is, we're fitting on here.
'Cause when
Ma'am?
when I was out there today, this is what I saw.
Yes.
Can you hear
Yes.
us?
And,
She can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Okay. I was just saying that what I saw when I actually went to the property, I was trying to put everything on there and figure out how you were going to be able to,
I feel your pain. I know what you're talking about, ma'am. I gotcha.
my other question is, to you, is to get to your mother's property, to get here, you're going to have to go out, is it Robert Paul?
Robert Paul.
And
then
go down Church.
Yes, ma'am.
To get to her property. So from your property where you live at, you have no access to this property.
I do have access. I adjoin the property, sorry, let me match the shape here. I
Yep.
adjoin the property right here. So this is a subdivision lot.
Can you be more specific about that for the record? Sorry. Like, is that to the south? Is that to the east?
So this is to the northeast, my adjoining property, and I can read the parcel here, but yes, so this is my Stone Manor subdivision property, primary residence, and this is the property that we're building on.
Okay?
And this building is Mr. Frystack's home, right there. So I could get on my four-wheeler and ride down here and get to her property, cross over the creek. It's not how I would do it. It is possible, though. It's not what I would do. I would do exactly like you said. I would leave out of Robert Paul Drive, take a left onto Church, and then a left down this deeded right-of-way, down this road right here.
Okay.
And so this design is the driveway design, which will give my
Okay.
mother, access. So when it's dark, and I'll light this, and then it'll be ergonomic and safe, but when she comes down this road, she'll be able to pull in and out just like this. So this will be her driveway.
Okay.
To give her, a 270 or 180 degree response. The home will be here, and there will be access paved, steps. The yard's non-existent really, but she's not
Yeah.
going out to mow. She'll have a view of the creek. She'll have her patio. She'll have a little patio area. And the sand mound, again, will be a 2-foot-high obstruction that's about 40 feet long by about 8 feet for what you're talking. And that's really it. So this property, if you look at a multifamily dwelling, and per the zoning in Newberry Township, that's a 450 square foot minimum. So if I had a 4-unit and I had my mother in a 4-unit of my home, she would get, she would only be entitled to 450 square feet. And if you look at a product produced from like a retirement home, much smaller, 150 to 200 square feet. So for my purposes, and I'm intimate with my mom's situation, this home provides a washer and dryer, 300 or 36-inch doors. If she's in a wheelchair, I can put access to a shower.
Yes.
It'll be beautiful for her. There'll be deer and raccoons and otter, as Dan was just telling me. So it's a great place. I can come and have coffee with her in the morning and get the mail, take the trash out. It is the most ergonomic and best use of this property that I can come up with.
So the doorway into the home would be off of here? I'm
Yes.
just curious.
Yes. Yeah. And this product is, I can make it any way. That's what's awesome. Everything's structural. It's basically a container home.
It comes in one piece?
It'll come in 2 pieces, an 8 by 40 and an 8 by 20 foot segment that'll adjoin together. and this product is steel, it's an intermodal container, so if a tree falls, it'll take the brunt of a tree, because it's in a mature area. So that I mean, all these factors go into the consideration of building this property for her. And it really, in my opinion, the smaller, the better for the setbacks. And, I mean, it's just, it's a tough nut to crack, but I think I'm there. And I don't know if that answers, does that answer your question, ma'am?
It does. I just was curious as to how you were going to manage to get everything on there that's needed in such a small place.
Yes. Yeah. Careful planning.
Careful planning.
I'll be that.
You asked me a couple questions.
Just the standard, location question. So what is directly to the south of the property?
Directly to the south, Mr. Shettle's property. I think he has 20-plus acres on his parcel there. It's just, I mean, he has his primary residence there, and it's completely green, 20-acre parcel. There's nothing there, other than woods.
Okay. And to the north?
To the north would be Mr. Frystack's property, followed by my property.
Okay. And they're both residential?
Yes, ma'am.
And to the east?
East or west?
I'm sorry,
sorry.
I thought to the east or west, sorry, I apologize.
To the east?
To the east is the creek and my adjoining property.
Okay. And then the last one, to the west?
To the west, I don't know the property owners there. They are the property owners with the deeded right-of-way, and it's about 250 yards to their home. Their home is about 250 yards away. They're on another 7-acre lot, roughly.
And they're residential also?
Yes, ma'am.
The right of way back through there, is that, how wide is that? To come,
No, I don't know that the deed specifies the,
but it's on all your deeds, the right of way?
yes, sir. It's in the 1961 pre-existing deed, and also when I purchased the property in 2013, it's also transferred into that. And that should be in the package.
Yeah, I think I read something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, here. Beginning at the spike in the center of public road known as Township Road number 974, said spike being a corner of property belonging to Frank Kellerman. I don't know if I need to read all that stuff. 262 feet, oh, nope, not that either. Why do I have to put all that stuff in here? Yeah, it doesn't say the,
The road itself is
Oh.
a hardball macadam road, ma'am, and it's 9 feet. It's 9 feet in width, and it goes approximately in the middle of Dan and I's house, which is, I would say, that's 200 feet in between our properties. So, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe.
If she's gonna live back there, somebody's gonna have to maintain that for her, to keep, to snow plowing and to maintain the road. Is that an agreement between the people?
There is not like a homeowner's agreement between it. I'll definitely pay my money to maintain that, and I'll maintain it. I have a plowing system, so,
That's a little touchy in some situations, with neighbors and all kinds of stuff.
I understand.
is that the only property that deeded right away goes to?
No, it also goes to Mr. Frystack's property. There are 1, 2, 3, there are currently 4 properties that rest in that right of way, that shared driveway. It's 2B limestone, paved, and then 2B limestone again. The property owners to the west of the lot we're talking about, they have given, I think it was in the sixties that they gave the right of way for, you know, whatever price it was sold at that point. But all the landowners access that. All the landowners have common shared mailbox access. All the trash cans go out to the road access, all on that deeded right of way. It's like a well-established basically, road.
So it's already being used for that purpose
Yes, ma'am.
that it would be used for if the house was built?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything, no?
Yeah, let me follow up on a few things. I mean, access is definitely one of the big questions. Sounds like you've answered a lot of the questions we have about the access. So that drive goes all the way down to, what road is that? Kind of at the end of it?
It's Church Road.
Church Road. Is there any type of agreement among the neighbors, the users of the easement, about the maintenance?
The right-of-way was originally given by 2 previous owners to that property. I don't know of an agreement that is existing. May I ask Mr. Frostack, because he utilizes that road, do we swear him in and ask him, or is that, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, let's get there.
All right.
We'll ask him in a minute if he doesn't mind. And you've done a pretty good job describing the stream. So that kind of runs down the center of the property.
Yes, sir.
And is that a constantly flowing stream or more of like a wet area?
Constantly flowing.
Okay. And you mentioned this before as well, but you're looking for 50 feet off kind of that wet area as a limitation on where you're putting the sand mound
Yes, sir. And the building.
in the building.
Yeah.
All right. And as I see on here, you're going to have a well and you're going to have a septic system. So I can only assume that means no public water, no public sewer.
Yeah, this is correct. Correct assumption.
And you included some pictures of the structure in this packet. Just wanted to make sure that everyone on the board has had an opportunity to kind of look and see what we're, kind of the design we're talking about. I have a couple pictures here that I'll enter into the record. It's kind of backwards, but I'll mark them Exhibit A for the record. And these pretty fairly represent what you're planning to build?
They-
Or are these like a prototype or?
Yeah, so these are computer generated. There is a company that I'll be using, Pleasant Valley Homes. They'll be producing the product. It will look, this is a rendition of it. It will
Okay.
look like this with another half added to that. So it'll be an 8x40 structure and a 20 by, an 8x20 foot structure. So is that.
Yeah.
But it will, you know, for all intents and purposes, it'll look very similar to that building.
Then I have another drawing here. I have a basic plan. It seems to show everything. I will enter that as Exhibit B. So that represents what we're looking at
Yes, sir.
with the actual plan. So it looks like kind of a kitchen area, a main living area, bathroom and a bedroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Allow windows. And the other documents I was given is site investigation and percolation tests for on-lot disposal of sewage. And that's what you submitted regarding the sewer, or the septic. I haven't really had a chance to look at this, but. Mark that as Exhibit C. questions about the perk test or?
Is it a one-bedroom system or two?
It's built for a minimum three-bedroom system, but the home will only contain one.
But the sand mound will have to be sized for three bedroom.
Yes, sir.
You have that already?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Eliminates that 123. Anybody have any questions? Sue?
That's your expertise
I'm
down
good.
there.
Anything else?
I have a couple more items I want to get in here. This looks like the deed, October 2nd, 2013, so that's when you purchased the property. Mark that as Exhibit D. I think that's relevant to the right-of-way access. And I have another deed here that's from Fletcher's to Edward Brown. You know the relevance of this one?
That just shows that it's a pre-existing lot.
Okay.
Prior to, if you look at all the markers, they all match to mine with the right-of-way. So it's the establishment of the right-of-way in the timeline, and then it is a pre-existing prior to 2006, which is the date that I saw that the ordinance was created here too. So just trying to prove that timeline.
Okay. I'm gonna enter that deed as Exhibit E. That's all I have. And I'm intrigued about the shape of your other property and whether there's any.
They had to get 5 acres to
Yeah.
make it fit the subdivision, so it's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that is quite the shape. Any future thoughts about connecting them? I mean, that seems like that would be a hassle, but.
Yeah, and again, to connect it, when you look at where it bottlenecks, the 90-degree dog leg, I would need
Mhm.
variances to establish a road, to get down there with a timbered road. There's no reason to really connect that. And then it wouldn't be, I'm very fortunate to have this course.
Can you pass them down here so we have? It's a lot there.
So there's no basement to the structure, it's just built on a slab. I don't see any accessory structures, sheds, garages. Sorry, I got too many notes here.
Do you have any more questions, Sue?
Just one. And just from what you've described that the house is going to be like, is it going to fit in with the rest of the houses in the area?
That's an have you been down that road?
I've been down the road, and there are a lot of different types
There are a lot of different.
of houses. And I guess I'm just curious as to what the exterior is going to look like.
The exterior will be a muted black. It'll be painted muted black. And it'll be covered with a lattice and green work, like an ivy, an evergreen ivy all year to block it and bring color. Kind of a little joy is my intent. It will have a pergola on the top of it, 6x6 with 2x6 pieces of wood on top, and a lattice on that, or a shiplap to kind of blend it in with that natural setting. My goal is to not make it stick out. I would love it to be, if it's approved, it will be aesthetically pleasing. It will not be an eyesore, I can promise you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else have any questions? Ashman?
It's up to the board if you'd like to go deliberate in executive session to
Do we-
discuss.
is there any-
Oh, yep, I'm sorry.
Do we have any comments or any questions from anybody in the audience?
Dean has a hard time hearing. Dan, you're asking if you have any questions or comments that you would like to say.
You have to come up and give your name if you want to.
Right. No, I don't know. I think it's fine.
Okay, do we have a motion to it? Anything?
I guess,
Do you just want to go into executive session to discuss? Is that our?
yeah, I'll make a motion for executive session to discuss.
Okay, we'll take a small recess.
Thank you.
Do we have a second on that?
Oh, yeah, second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nay, motion carried.
Is it okay if we take this? Of course. I'll give it right back to you.
Weird, we've done this before.
David, if you have anything to say, you can tell him now, I'm gonna step outside so there's no pressure and you say whatever you want.
Originally, I thought it was going to say, but it's not, it's approximately 500 gallon boilers down there, and then, pump down. Total, like, ridiculous cost. And how long it takes to fill 2 500 gallon tanks up?
Okay.
How long you think? Just guess. I got a real good clue.
You tell me.
2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
You wouldn't be surprised how much water, just what you would familiar with. If you're not, it can even be more than that. But now I'm looking at it saying now.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, if you're comfortable with it, I may have you just have a few comments to the board when we get back.
Yeah, they should just get down there and look at it, that's all. The road going down there is 10 feet wide.
Okay. Yeah, well, I might have you tell the board that when we get back.
Yeah, I was just concerned about him putting 2 tanks in, so I thought, if the weather's bad, the road's pretty steep going down in there. If the weather was bad, he might have a hard time, and then those tanks that overflow into the stream, and that stream down there is really clean. I've seen otters down there. They
Okay.
like really clean water.
Okay.
That was my biggest concern, yeah.
Yeah, hang out a few minutes and we'll
Sure.
get that. Want to go this way?
Yeah, yeah. Good job. Thanks, man. Thank you, man. Yeah,
I was concerned about the, talking before about having a couple of holding tanks on there.
no holding tanks.
Yeah, I know, because I told him, I said, you know, 500-gallon holding tanks, that'd be like 2 to 3 weeks they'd fill up.
That's true.
And then if the weather was bad, whoever went down there to pump it out, it could be a problem,
Yeah,
you know.
it is not here. I'm
But
gonna
you
look
got
up
a sand mound.
It's called a WECO filtration system. I'll tell you what it is.
And, sand mounds used to be not too swift when they first came out, but from what I understand, they're pretty good now, they work pretty well. And, what do you think about the siding?
I think it's gonna basically be lattice. I'm just gonna grow ivy.
I thought that on the house.
The house is metal, it's metal, the house is metal.
I was
Exterior.
like a whole building type of thing, basically.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
seen
so
people,
leads, no.
I've seen people put whole buildings up and then put an apartment inside of them.
Yeah,
And I mean, still have all that space to have their stuff. I don't know if people do that. More people are doing that than, and a lot of people down in Florida, down south, they do that a lot.
yeah. Yeah, it's smart, you know, because you have 6x6s. And you can run huge spans, you know, and I agree. It's not a bad way to go, but I don't know.
You get powder coated, they do a lot of that, that holds up pretty well. I like having one that goes on my garage and that goes on my house. That's Pennsylvania State Tree, and folks don't like it.
That's important, you know.
They don't like it, they don't bother it at all. And that stuff will last for 200 years. I had people when I did my house back here, they said, why are you putting wood siding on it? I'm gonna put vinyl siding on it. I said, vinyl siding is crap. You get holes, cut your grass and hit a rock, puts a hole right through it. And I said, there's no structural stability at all. It's just hanging on there. It's just for looks. I said, wood siding, it gets nailed on every stud. That's really, really strong. And like I said, they have one, and that stuff, the bugs don't like it. And it'll last. That's what they used to traditionally in Pennsylvania, all your barns would have one side of it.
Okay.
It's a lasted forever. Sometimes they don't even paint it. You don't even have to paint it. Like you just put stain on it. That's what I do that way. I got the brush. You see my siding down there? Look at it. It's been on there 20 years.
Yeah.
All I did was put a stain on it. I'm never gonna touch it. Same with my house. Now I get southern exposure, that kind of beats the wood, open the pores up a little bit, but it's still big. That stuff will last forever.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
it looks good, yeah. It looks really good.
Yeah, but that was like a good vinyl side. Huh.
It's a lot of maintenance.
What's your house made out of? Is it white pine or is it cedar or?
It's yellow pine.
Oh, yellow pine,
Yeah.
that's the best, that's
Yeah.
good. I said I built one of those up in Manhole Springs, a pre-top one, and it was yellow pine. They don't do those anymore, I don't know why. They're using white pine, says it real clean. I said, yeah, he said, that's what I don't like, they like real clean water. They gotta have access to water or they won't be there.
Okay.
I don't know what they need, but maybe a little crawfish or something, I don't know. Yeah.
It's nice back there, Dan. It is nice, you know, it's
Yeah.
nice. We working today, we're down there today.
Yeah, I went hard at her, they make a little street right out of it, 64 guy. And, clear across the street, last Saturday, I saw a 72 Valiant, so actually Dodge Door, same thing, was in the back of a trailer. And so, you know, I hope it's going to clear, so he took it over to Claire's, I spent 2 days over there. I took the head off, that's where the valves and stuff were, and I took all that, I took everything out of that car. And I just went down to York today and I dropped the head off, we're gonna, cook it out in the tank, make it real clean, and then I get them out, drop that away.
It's cool.
It's just,
Yeah, man, I get it.
you stop using it, what happens?
I hear what happens. You get confidence.
You know, what happens?
And then they go with confidence.
Then you get more confident.
Yeah, I hear you.
You hear me?
It's been busy for me.
Pardon me?
It's been busy for me.
Everyone's good.
Yeah.
Flying a lot.
Flying a lot. Yeah. I go out to Denver tomorrow morning. And I
Where,
work
Denver?
Denver. And then a red eye home, so I'll be home at 6:30 in the morning. Wednesday, I land at 6:30 in the morning in Philly on Wednesday, and I go, man, it was kind of rough, you know, you land, you got 11 hours off. You gotta try to sleep, because, you know.
Yeah,
it's
'cause
hard.
you're all wound up thinking about what you gotta do after the 11 hours. I know about that. It just was like,
Yeah.
I hate that. That's why I always work for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm my best
Yeah,
employee.
you're the best player.
I always say that. Nobody treats you better than you.
Yeah, well, that's.
And if you screw up, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
Are we still recording this? We're not
Pardon me?
We are recording this.
We're off the record. We're off.
Well, Jeremy's
Oh, yeah,
recording,
it's
he
still on,
says,
yeah,
okay.
it's still on.
All right. We're gonna- Let's sit outside. Let's go. Be on the, we're gonna be on the internet. You're gonna be watching us on the internet.
give you a depreciation. The day you gotta pay it back. Why do you do it? That's supposed to help you out when you're struggling, taking the pain. It never happens. After 15 years. And it, well, you know, like, there's something. We have to agree. It's a great problem. The builders
stack leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's concerned with holding tanks.
Okay.
I don't, I think that what he said. He wants to
Yeah.
just looked up what Alex has come up with, if that would help with anything.
Call us back in.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the meeting back to order.
Okay, so from what we heard today, there are a few things we were concerned about. As you know, we're likely gonna have to continue this, so there'll be a motion to continue this after I'm done talking here. We would really like a more detailed plan that has, all of the distances on it and the setbacks, laid out more particular, and like where the sand mound will be and the well, and distances from that to the house and to the property lines. And we'd also, one of our major concerns was that access, that road access, and whether or not there's a possibility for an agreement for road management and things of that nature. So just to give you some of our thoughts on that, of what, you know, we might be asking more about at the next hearing. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna make a motion to continue for the next, regularly scheduled zoning, hearing date.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Can adjourn?
Yeah, yeah, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Thank you for coming.